Hi, High Tops. I'm Marcus motherfucking Boston, the producer of High Off the Glass with O the Great.
Hey, everybody. I'm O the Great. That's Hey to Boston over there. Hey, guys, thank you for checking out the show. We love you guys for paying attention to it. Please continue to do so at...
Follow the show on Instagram at High Off the Glass, on the Twitter at _glass, and that the is THA.
There it is. And myself, O the Great, OTHA Great. That's where we got the name from. On Twitter, OTHA Great _IG.
Follow the show on Facebook at High Off the Glass, and email the show with your dreams, hopes, and suggestions at highofftheglass@gmail, and that the is THA.
And we will read them. Check us out. He's a hater.
Please subscribe to the show. Okay, that's enough for me. Definitely enough for O. Enjoy the show.
I will be back. All right, everybody, man, back better than ever. How's everyone doing out there for another episode of High Off the Glass, everybody? What's going on? Yes, the audience is hype. The audience is hype today. The audience is hype because we have a very special guest today. We have Zach Post from Elite Grow Academy, everybody. Give it up to Zach Post.
What's going on?
What's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Big Z in the house, man. It is so happy to have you here, man.
Good. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's even more of a pleasure to have you here. And I'm telling you, God works in such a mysterious way.
Oh, yes, He does.
You know, we just started this podcast when God put the idea in my head back in March of this year.
Got you.
And lo and behold, what is it? 10 months later, 8 months later, I'm meeting you.
Right.
And the next thing I know, you're on my show.
Yeah.
And what I start my podcast about, not knowing you from a can of paint, is about marijuana and basketball. And that is your business, marijuana. Like this, it's awesome, man. Like you have the greatest business in the world.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I
appreciate it.
And it's one of the fastest growing business in the United States of America, man. What, Zach?
Better believe it. Yeah.
Before we jump into the company,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? I want to jump into Mr. Post.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, tell me about you, man. Like what brought you to, unrelated to the company, but what brought you to marijuana? How did you get started? Where you from? Where'd you go? You said something about you took off to Vegas. What made that happen? What happened?
It's I'll try to sum it up as best I can, as quick as I can, because it's a lot of moving parts.
Here's the thing. You don't have to be that quick. We're on a podcast.
Got you.
You can take your time.
I can take my time.
Yes, sir.
It's just a lot.
Yes, sir. But, I feel you.
Because I get asked this question a lot, you know, kind of about like, you know, the history or like what was my path or my journey to the marijuana game.
Right.
And so it all started, I would say, man, the love, or I would say not even the love, but the interest for marijuana, probably around 12 or 13 years old.
Okay. What?
And I remember getting some seeds from a friend. We're on our way walking to Normandy Middle School.
Okay.
Right? How real it gets, right?
Okay.
Walking to Normandy Middle School on Natural Bridge, and he whipped out this like a medicine jar full of marijuana seeds. And I've always had a garden like my mother taught me how to garden at 9 years old. So I was used to like planting seeds and seeing stuff grow, like tomatoes, cabbage, things of that nature, just in the backyard. So I knew I could grow stuff, and so he had these marijuana seeds, and I knew at that age, I was just starting to learn about weed and getting high and all that stuff. So I was like, it's a perfect opportunity to see if I can grow it. So of course I tried, and was very unsuccessful at it because it was in the wintertime, and I didn't have the right setup, and I'm in, you know, in a house full of like 8 brothers and sisters, and you know, it wasn't the perfect setup, so it never happened, but it never left me. The desire never left.
That's awesome.
So from that time, it always just stuck with me, and I had my run-ins with it, but make a long story short.
What do you mean run-ins with it?
Well, I would say like, you know, the normal like trajectory of like getting familiar with marijuana, you know, smoking some joints at a friend's party in the basement, and you get to the point you get in high school years where, you know, it's more of a regular thing, and you know, like you get on the Bammer weed, like, you know, that whole history.
The whole gamut,
yeah. So
good shitty.
Exactly. But then I had to, you know, step away from it because I had to get, you know, quote unquote responsible with life and, you know, get good jobs and drug drug testing and all that stuff. So it was, I never, I didn't have the love for it at that point where I didn't want to be successful at my normal life. And I knew if that was going to hinder me from doing it. So I just put it down and got into pharmaceuticals. That's where it all kind of started. Became a pharmaceutical technician with the desire to become a pharmacist. That was the whole reason of moving to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
So it didn't quite work out that way. I stayed in the pharmaceutical industry for about 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in there, and I ended up working for the Department of Veteran Affairs. That was like the last job I had in pharmaceuticals. Right?
Were you
I was a technician.
You were a pharmacist there?
Yeah, I was a pharmacy technician. So it's like the pharmacist is like the doctor, and then like the technician is like the nurse. In the pharmacy game, right?
Okay.
So I was that. So as a technician, you get the government job. You think, I got the great benefits and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like, cool. I'm where I want to be. I worked hard to get here. Took all the tests and certifications on that stuff.
Right.
But then it was just like I really stepped back. Then I looked at the system and like what was going on, like real, like with my eyes, and seeing like these veterans coming in and getting their medications, and we're giving like 180 oxycodone 5s and 10 milligrams, and they're getting it. They're going straight to the parking lot. They're either selling it, you know what I'm saying? You can see all this stuff on camera because it's the VA. So they got all these cameras. You can just look at the cameras and see these transactions going on. And like you would see the veterans come in, and like one thing I tripped off of is like, you could see the pain in their eyes, and they were telling you one thing, but you could see that was a little deeper than what they were telling you.
Yeah.
But you look at the overall system, it was just like they were creating dope addicts, like firsthand, like you could see it, so that kind of, and so I started to really do more research on like the money, like follow the money, that's how we're like, from everything, that's what I do. I follow the money.
There you go.
So I got into pharmaceuticals and started really looking at who's making, like, let's follow the money. Where does it lead up to? And it's like, you got the pharmaceutical companies, like the big pharma, everybody call it, like, like Bayer and so on and so forth. Pfizer and things like that. So so you look at that and you say, and you start to really pick apart that system. And I worked in the system, so you would see how they would push these particular medications that were really pushed through really fast by the FDA. I sort of break down the whole system, like looking at the FDA, they have to approve all the drugs that the big pharmaceuticals sell. But it's like it's a quid pro quo, like, since that word is now popular now.
Yeah, it is.
Because like the FDA,
Mr. Dump,
right.
Sorry, son of a bitch.
Right, exactly.
He's so fucking trite.
Hey man, it's
jeez.
That'd be a whole nother hour conversation on that.
Bro, how many scandals do you need?
Right. I mean, but at this point, it's just comical. Like, I mean, like, is it anything really that can surprise you?
What needs to happen? He needs to be ghost, but that's another time for another story. But finish your story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you look at like the FDA.
Sorry, son of a bitch. I'm sorry. Just
can't get one more in real quick. Just get one more. Yeah. No, but so you look at that side of things, and like the FDA, big pharma, and like how it all plays, and like, oh man, it's just a lot on that side that I was exposed to, that I start to really dig around and like really research. And when you see that all of this, it's all about money. So do they really? It's put it to you this way. It's no money in a healthy America. It's no money in a dead America. It's money in a half-dead society. So if they can keep you half alive and keep pumping you full of meds just to keep you kind of okay, they can keep sucking money out of you. Right? Yeah. But if you're dead, can't make no money out of you. So we don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll kill you slowly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to get the equity out of you. Yeah. Like, you paying your bills to your deathbed, right?
Yeah.
But they can control those patents. So, like look at Viagra for a quick second.
Right.
Viagra knew that they had that patent for 10 years. That's how all brand name medications come out. They come out the gate, they got a 10-year patent on it. So what they do, they pretty much have a monopoly on the market for that 10 years on that particular brand name drug. So nobody can touch it, even though multiple companies can make it, but they can't right now because this particular company has the patent on it. So they're gonna squeeze because they can.
Yeah,
it's a monopoly. Who else gonna touch me?
Yeah,
if I want this pill to be $100 a pill, I can do that. Right
now, you got the Ronins and the Hims and all them people out now.
So after that 10 years expire, guess what? Everybody can swoop in and grab that technology, that intellectual property that they had pinned up. Right. So now you see all that trickle down effect. But when you look at it, like, this all is based around money. Like I say all of that to say that it just that they want to keep it's more money. It's more money in a person that's not all the way healthy, and they'll do almost anything. They'll make being like healthy look unattractive, like just to keep you like sick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's trickery, like with the marijuana game. Like all this time, marijuana kills your brain cells. It does this. It's a gateway drug. You're gonna go from smoking weed to sucking dicks with crack now. Like get out of here, bro. Like that's not gonna happen, right? I never not been able to get marijuana. Was like, hey, I want to suck a dick now. Like like to get it. Like you ain't lying. But that's exactly. But that's how they created it. Like that's how that's what they burned into our brains. You know what I'm saying? Over all this time, all this time. Right. But now. It's cool because we can make money off of it. We've been making money off of it quietly anyway. You know what I'm saying? But now, since it's like the cool, healthy thing to do, let's jump on the bandwagon. But let's not get all the way in yet. Let's still throw some diversion out there to not have people completely jump ship to really know, to understand like the benefits of cannabis, right? Because if they do that and they back that, then now pharmaceutical sales, it goes down. Because now if you know you could take. You can have a hit of marijuana. It's gonna control your blood pressure. Now, what about that blood pressure medication that you've been taking that you got to pay, $21 a month for, or whatever?
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, bro? You was dropping knowledge, Jack.
It's a lot,
I feel you.
It's a lot. I'm sorry.
No. You ain't got to be sorry about shit. You ain't got nothing to be sorry about, post. You in the post hitting all jokers. You know what I'm saying? You in the You hitting the little sky hooks and all them shit. You doing it, post. You in the post doing it. What I'm saying is that's a lot to unpack. That's a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? And you started with you, but then you jumped into the deeper, the deeper end of it, and just you working at that veterans. It was a veterans hospital.
Yeah, the Department of Veteran Affairs and the pharmacy. Yeah,
you working in their pharmacy made you investigate, and that's what made you see all this and brought all this to your light.
It's weird how it happened. Wow. Like, it was nothing. Like none of this was like consciously done. Yeah, this was like all unconsciously. Like this whole journey to like where I'm at now. Yeah, I was just gathering these pieces of the puzzle just because like I'm a dude that's like. If you tell me something, I'm not going to take it for what you tell me. If I want to waste time on it, I'd be like, let me go research it just to see if it's true or not. Sometimes it's something real stupid, right? And I just go research it real quick just to see if it's true or not. Right. But I'm that kind of person, so that's just how it is. Like if something don't just add up, like I'll be like, they telling us this for another reason though. They diverting us. Like it's a diversion. Let me figure out what the diversion is. Right. Not saying like I'm somewhat big on conspiracy theories. I'm not like hardcore, but I really feel like what we have, I'll just put it to you, we have trackable history that we were not always being told the truth.
You got that right.
Yeah, we have multiple
instances of that.
Yeah, yes. So based on that, it's like I question everything. Like you have to, because gone are the days when they say, "Hey, that water that you drinking out your tap is safe."
Right.
Now, no, we want to see them records now.
Exactly.
Like you look at Flint, like we want to see them records now.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Flint.
Like,
Dear
come on,
God.
like
that should have been got fixed.
Yeah, man. But that's just unfortunately. That's just how it is. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But I can get kind of back on track of like.
I feel you. It can be fixed though. That's not how it should be.
Exactly.
That's a bunch of bullshit over there. That's not how it should be.
And this we're talking about just basic human rights at this point.
Right.
Like this is nothing that's giving nobody an edge or benefit or nothing. This is basic, just human rights stuff that you're supposed to do. Yeah. Right. And it's an issue and it's a struggle. Yeah. How messed up is that though? Right. Like you look at like, I mean, how many billionaires, that we got over here,
if what these politicians say is true, you know what?
Say that again. Say that again slow. Right.
If what these politicians say are true, and the only two I'm really looking at is Bernie and Warren. Mm-hmm. Those are the only two that I'm really kind of like, believing right now. Right. I mean, those are the only two I'm kind of really riding with.
Got you.
And if what they say is true, they want to take those billionaires and tax them like the way the fuck they should be. Right. Not with this little petty bullshit ass little tap on the wrist tax. Yeah. a real motherfucking tax. Like how they tax us.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right. Level the playing field.
Level it.
Yeah,
level it.
But like we could talk about politics, and that's another thing that I've studied and researched too.
Yeah.
So I won't go too deep, but
I can jump into that with you, but what I'm saying, we'll say that for another time.
Another show, right? Yeah.
So with you doing all this, kind of exposing, pharmaceutical companies and, U.S. healthcare for what it is, nothing but a fucking money grab, and something that's deplorable. What made you, I guess, from not only, you've always loved marijuana, but, what made you start to, okay, well, I want to try to push marijuana as medicine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do that instead. I was fucking with this bad shit. I was on the wrong end of it. Let me get on the right. What made,
that switch.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was a weird timing, I would say, because I was just starting to get very, very frustrated with how things were going in the pharmaceutical industry, right? With the Department of Veterans Affairs. I was like, it was almost like any day I could just walk out and never come back.
Yeah.
But I'm not a dumb dude. So
with what you were seeing with the poor veterans selling their meds and all that.
And just like the politics within, like when you work there, when you're a staff member, like the politics, like just with any other company, like any other organization, you have.
I got a family member that works there. She says it's hell. They put it through hell.
Yeah. That's just, but it's the culture. Put you that way. That's their culture. Mm-hmm. And I'm to the point where if I can't change the culture, I'll leave it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gone. So, so I left it. So I was on my way kind of creating my plan there and started to get an interest into finances and also marijuana because marijuana just became legal in Nevada in 2013. So it's the same year I was starting to do my transition from the Department of Health, the Department of Veteran Affairs, to trying to figure out another career path.
Oh, okay.
And so out of just like the luck of things, I had a buddy that, pretty good friend of mine that's out there, that he had an uncle that lived in Salinas Valley. Uh-huh. He was moving there, getting things set up, doing his build out for a cannabis facility, right? Uh-huh. And so I was just like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like we went to the point where we would just go there just to check it out. Met his uncle a few times and kind of really got a chance to like talk to him about.
What year was this?
This was 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get to talking and everything, and then that just pretty much progressed into me working a part-time position there. Okay. At the same time, like that wasn't my primary, my breadwinner at that time. I was actually became so what happened was I became a mortgage consultant. Okay. Like a basically pre-approving people for mortgage loans.
Hell no.
So I was learning that, but I got more freedom as a job. So with that, you're kind of building your own book of business. So you have more. You're not like working a regular 9 to 5. Uh-huh. So that gave me freedom to actually go work part-time as a cultivation assistant to learn the craft of cannabis cultivation, but also still build my book of business. So it was like I said, it was just weird. Like,
did they know what you were doing?
Like, who you mean? Like my the mortgage consultant?
Yes.
Now, see, finances is cool. See, finances don't care what you do. Like,
right. As long as you get money.
Yeah, as long as you get money, you can sniff lines of coke and all kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're not drug testing you.
Yeah.
Like it's a high energy, high stressful like career path. So it's like one of those don't ask, don't tell. That's really how I believe the culture is. Like some of them will, you got a few that would drug test you, but the other ones I work for, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
that's what's up.
Yeah, so with that being said, they really didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't feel like I had to tell them. It was just like, hey, I was just on a hustle just to, learn this craft and make a little side money. So it was like, I wouldn't tell them if I got a part-time job at Burger King, you know what I'm saying? So it really didn't matter to me. So doing that back and forth. And
so what are you doing at the dispensary?
Yeah, so it was in a dispensary. It was a cultivation center.
I'm sorry, cultivation center.
Yeah, so we were actually learning, like, I started off as a trimmer. We're bucking. Bucking is like when you're taking the dry bud and you're taking it from the stems or the stalks of the plant. Okay. And before they go to the trim. So I started off bucking and trimming. You
do that with gloves or no gloves?
Yeah, gloves. And like now back then it was we didn't have a machine. We just got a machine right before I quit. But anyway, back then it was all hand. You put gloves on. You would strip them off with your hands and you trim them. So on and so forth. Right. Okay. It wasn't a huge operation, but it was a decent sized operation. Right. Okay. And they start because most of these companies they come out in phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So I was part of that phase 1 off into like phase 3, phase 2 type situation. So the growth of the cultivation, the facility just got bigger.
Right? It got bigger as you were there.
Yeah, so phase 1 would be like, okay, we're only going to open up 8,000 square. We have 30,000 square feet building, right? But only operational is going to be 8,000 of it. That's phase 1. Okay. Then like phase 2, we're going to go ahead and so while you're producing with phase 1, you're basically using that money to fund the build out of phase 2. Yeah. And then so on and so forth. And so that's kind of like how it started off just a smaller, then got into like where they were kind of big. It got bigger, and then but at that time I was on my way back to St. Louis, moving back to St. Louis because it's like I did that. My mother got diagnosed with dementia, so I have a big family. I have 12 brothers and sisters, right?
Oh wow,
yeah. So a family of 13, you know,
wow.
and so it was great being a kid, but we was always broke. Like I didn't know we was poor until I got about 12, 13. I was like, wait, we ain't got no money.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know, why we all eating beans?
You don't learn it till you get older.
Yeah. So, but what happened was it just like I felt the need that at that point I felt Vegas had given me everything that I needed from Vegas. So when I left, it was a sense of, I really don't want to leave, but I know I'm doing this to be closer to my mom, my family, because most of my family is here.
Right.
And my wife's family. Most of my wife's family is here too. So it just made sense of being there. We were there for, I think, 11 years. So it started to get to that point where we didn't think it was like the perfect place to raise a kid. And, you know, we're getting to that age.
But it was so much popping there in your line of work. Before you left, the thing I was confused with the cultivation center, it sounds so great, but what were y'all doing exactly? Were you growing? Were you making it there?
Yeah, we're growing it. Yeah, you're growing. You're cultivating it. So that's and what people don't understand is that's hard. You're a farmer.
Yeah,
it's hard work. You know?
Who were you growing it for? For other dispensaries?
Yeah, so basically, so when you're in the whole chain of things, the cultivators they grow all the cannabis and then they actually wholesale that to the either manufacturer that's gonna break it down and infuse it into like vapes and edibles and so on and so forth, or they're either gonna wholesale the flower unbroken down to dispensaries to sell the actual flower. So it all everything is rooted onto the cultivator. Like if it's no cultivation, it's no industry.
Right.
Bottom line, you know. So I learned from like the core, like where it all starts. Like it starts with like growing it. So we were growing it. I didn't start to really learn because it's like within there, it's a hierarchy. You know, you have your master growers and you have the people under the master growers, and so I became a cultivation assistant. So that's where I got introduced to learning how what the plants need for nutrients, like to really start to like actually visualize and see deficiencies, or if a plant needed something, or how to correct sicknesses and things like that. So that's where all of that knowledge came from. It was weird because as a kid, I had the green thumb. I thought just naturally we're growing like carrots and stuff in the backyard and squash, but didn't really understand the science of like the nutrients and the nitrogen and the potassium and like how all this stuff makes stuff grow. Right. But I know I had a love for just growing, and now fast forward to now being in here with cannabis of all things, it was surreal. Yeah. But I was wise enough at that point to like look deeper, like because other people were taking opportunities like, hey, it's just a job, it's a cool job, because we wasn't making that much money. You know what I'm saying? It was like $17. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's not bad. Shit.
I mean,
did you get into cannabis?
No, see, that's another thing. It wasn't like they were just giving you. It wasn't like it wasn't because at this point everything is regulated. They got a tag on all them plants. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it ways to trick the system? Yeah, of course. It's ways to trick any system. Right. But it was like that wasn't one of the like spoken benefits of like working there. Oh, you're gonna get free weed if you work here. No, like if you took weed and you got caught, you was gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble. So it's like that. But a lot of people just looked at it like a job. They were like, oh, it's cool, boom, boom, boom. But I was like, man, this is an opportunity. Like I've always studied the cannabis. Like once cannabis like became like really like started to be like more, what can I say, accepted. I realized that because I follow money, the stock market. So when I started looking at all these Canadian companies being listed onto the stock market, I was like, wait, they trade in cannabis stock. Like, so there's gotta be, if it's money behind, if it's billions of dollars behind this, it's about to happen.
How are they trading cannabis stock?
So that's gonna really create this other path because I can go on.
Go.
Yeah. All right,
take it.
All right. So the way it works, because I'm a former licensed stockbroker, so that's why I like.
My dude. Yes, break it down.
Yeah. So and that's really where the I would say that was the extra piece of the puzzle that kind of hit.
Hold up. You were a mortgage broker and a stockbroker?
Yeah, so like I said, it's a
what the fuck?
Man, it's like this. I was like, I'm a person that's passionate about what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And so with that, if my target would have been becoming like a rap artist or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be a rap artist right now. But my target was not that. My target was to like get into finances and like figure that system out. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up as an African American male, we kind of know the struggles. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, it's already an uneven playing field. So you got to take every edge that you can, right? Yep. So I'm 5'3", 175 pounds. So NFL was out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe now, but back in 2000, if you wasn't 6'2", 220, they wasn't looking at. No recruits looking at you, man.
I don't know. There was some short running backs back then, though.
I was in 2000, like 5'8", maybe a 5'6", but a 5'3", name one 5'3".
A running back, you gonna put me on the spot? I don't know.
Muggsy Bogues in basketball, yes, but in NFL,
this is a basketball show.
Right.
This is basketball marijuana. But no, I know my football. What was that one dude? Sproles?
Yeah. I think he was a 5'5" or 5.
He's young 5, and then Sproles, and then who was the other one? Oh shit! Wes Welker and Julian Edelman are big. They might be 6 feet.
Right.
Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead's mad small. The Amendola, he mad small.
True. But I'm looking at compared to I'm looking at when I was in high school at that time. I graduated in year 2000.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the football players take 4 years from 4 years from there, like the league and like them running backs. You're looking at the Marshall Falks, the Barry Sanders was probably like
he was on his way out.
But he was one of the smallest ones I could say was like comparable. The Emmett Smiths and like them was like my idols at that point. So I'm looking at so to me, which is I was young and I really didn't know the stuff that I know now. So I'm killing my own dream at that point. Like, man, I'm 5'3". I'm 100 and so I ain't gonna even really chase this NFL dream. I'm gonna do something else, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, man, back to fast forward to where we at today.
Yeah, but that's so much smarter. But you see, so you got into stock brokerage, being a stockbroker. How do they trade marijuana stock?
Yeah, so they were doing that even before I became a stockbroker. So I learned about like the whole the trading stocks, like just the stock market. I really started to study it in 2012, and so at that point, I didn't have a lot of bread to really invest a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to find the cheapest method to invest. I just had a goal to invest, right? And so that started the whole hunt and the research of how does the stock market actually work. So with that, this thing called penny stocks popped up. You know what I'm saying? Penny stocks. I was like, wait, what's a penny stock?
Yeah, that's how Wolf of Wall Street got paid.
Right. So I'm like,
but what stock were they trading marijuana wise? What Canadian? What Canada company?
So at that time, it was a company called MJNA. It's like Marijuana Incorporated, Medical Marijuana Incorporated. It was a Canadian company.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were just trading on they call it the OTC market. So the OTC market is not there. It's still a public traded market, but they're not like they're not a blue chip company like a Google or Amazon or anything like that.
Right.
So mainly like penny stocks are like the most risky. It's really volatile because like you could either be talking to like a really shady company that doesn't know how to trick the system and can pump and dump a stock, or you talking to like a really like new startup that's trying to raise money and do the right things with their money, but you don't really know because there's so many of them. So you're taking a risk no matter what. So but I start to really this was like the bottom floor, like right when like the cannabis industry started to really boom. And I've seen some companies go from like stock was like 12 cents a share to where it ended at like $193 a share. So, but that all happened in like 2 months. Like
wow, seriously,
like something like not maybe not 2 months, but like a 6 month period. Like it would just happen.
When that company would top out at like that top number, would they be bought and sold to somebody else?
So what happens is once they hit that top number, usually the people that created it, they sell all their shares.
Yeah,
they get out. So now they just took all your money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the penny stocks and like that particular type of investing was a little risky. But me at that age, I was maybe 26, 27, I was all about the risk, you know. Wow. I was living in Las Vegas, right? I'm all about rolling them dice.
That's what the whole city's about. It's made on dice and risk.
So I was like, I wasn't breaking the bank, I was taking $100, $200 or something and just throw it in and just like do my research. And I thought I knew what I was doing because I made, a few, $100, $200, $300. I'm like, oh yeah, it's popping over here, And but then, you had them real bad days or those bad plays that you was like, once you get, it's just like gambling.
Yeah.
Once you make a trick, you thinking you got the game.
Yeah.
And then you go in heavy.
Yeah.
And then when you go in heavy, that's when the game flips on you. And then now you done lost everything that you gained, and plus, lost some money that you really didn't want to risk, right?
And you in the hole.
Exactly. So it was a lot of stories like that, a lot of victories, a lot of, sad stories and so on and so forth. But I thought I knew how to invest. But so at that same time, I was doing the cultivation, playing around with the stocks, and then building my book of business in the mortgage industry, right?
Okay.
So with the mortgages, that kind of really helped push me learn money, because I'm talking about interest rates, different things, security of deposits, and we're really digging in all these people's financial information.
Right.
So we have to understand stocks and bonds, and
you got to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. So it just kind of helped me out with both of them. Kind of created with just a different passion now based on finance. Really understanding money, not just of course the value of it, but like what's the true value of money? Like what are we really basing this off of, and let's follow it. So that started like cryptocurrency. I study cryptocurrency. I invest in cryptocurrency too. Like so, it's like that's just me, right? I just understand these things because it's a system with all this stuff.
What do they have besides Bitcoin?
Man, you got Bitcoin, Litecoin, you got XRP, you got you got Zencoin. You
invest in those?
Yeah. So
you think they're going to be viable?
So I look at it like this. This is my quickest explanation to it. Like I compare cryptocurrency to the internet in say 1990, right? When it was like the dial up, and it was like and it was like real slow, and people like some people had it, some people didn't have it.
No, 90 nobody had it.
Right. So I compare cryptocurrency,
like the government,
right? Exactly. Now, but now look at the internet today. You got it on your phone right now.
So it's gonna be like that, huh?
And I would say 10 to 15 years, you would have the physical wallet would never go anywhere. You're gonna have physical money. You're gonna still have that, but you will also, I could say, mark my words, you will also have a digital wallet. Everybody will have it's going to become cool to have a digital wallet.
Well, yeah, they're making it cool now. Yeah,
so
you can just swipe and go,
Right, so everybody will have a digital wallet. So that's where the whole cryptocurrency thing come from.
Okay.
But back to the investing in cannabis, so after I started to dig into that, started to figure out these stocks and stuff. Was a mortgage broker doing that, but it's up and down, peaks and valleys. You got $8,000 months you would make, then you got months that you would make no money.
Yeah.
But I did pretty good. But when I moved back to Missouri, that's when because I was working for Wells Fargo. So I was working for Wells Fargo in Vegas, and I was in I was in a great neighborhood. Like the property value in the neighborhood I was working was like $400,000. Like was the medium home price. So I'm in an area that your clients coming into that bank they got good jobs, they got good credit scores. So to sell them on the mortgages, you didn't have to you have to work for it, but it wasn't as hard as being like somewhere where the property value was $100,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you got to do a little bit more finesse in the system, right? So in Vegas, everything was rocking and rolling. Then that ended up transferring from Vegas to Chesterfield, right? But when but see, the thing about Wells Fargo home mortgage in Missouri, they don't have a physical presence. So like if you look at do you see any Wells Fargo banks anywhere in Missouri?
No,
yeah. And so that was everywhere in Vegas. Like they were like a Bank of America.
Yep.
So that was.
Why are they more West Coast? But they're everywhere. But they're more West Coast.
I would say
no physical banks.
I think it's where to the point where they got it figured out where something kind of government regulation. If you have a physical presence in every state, then that takes away some kind of tax benefit as a corporation from on a bigger scale. So big corporations, they will say, okay, we're going to have physical presence in 39 states, but not the rest of them because you don't want to fall into that extra tax. It's something like that.
Wow.
I don't know if that's the 100%, but it's something tricky like that. That's what that was the reason it was explained to me.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, but I believe it because that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so weird? It's so funny about your story and how God works.
Yeah. What's that?
It's just it's crazy. Sometimes when I was going from my different jobs I would work at from here to there.
Yeah.
And it'd be at, working in this place in this neighborhood, working in this place in this neighborhood. But I had never been in the neighborhoods before. Never worked at the places before.
Right.
But God would some way, shape, or form put me in that neighborhood just so I can get like acclimated.
Yeah. See
how you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? See how it is. And then like a year or so later, I'd be there working again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be weird like that. It's almost kind of like, that same thing with you. It's just like you had everything you needed already when you started this company.
Right.
Like that's why I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you did it and you started it because you literally had the tools already.
Right. Yeah.
There's so many people that have the tools and fuck it away. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And don't appreciate what they have. But Zach, you appreciate what God gave you, and you've been working with it, man.
1,000%. Yeah. I mean, I committed. I'm not just committed to on a deeper scale, I made a promise to myself, you know what I'm saying, of what I want to accomplish.
Right.
And the thing about that is that I wholeheartedly 1,000% believe that I can achieve that promise.
Yeah.
So when I know that, I'm just, that's kind of where I'm at mentally. Nothing would stop me, and I'll just get to, I'll get through it. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain the complete journey of how I'm going to get there, but I know the destination, and I know I will be at the destination. And that's kind of like, now that I look back at life, that's kind of how things have been kind of just shaping and formulating itself. Not with me really putting my hand, like controlling it, like, like on point, but still it's all adding up to like taking value in past experiences to know how to use those experiences now with future projects, networking and things like that, because I created companies before. I had a t-shirt brand, you know what I'm saying? It's called Go Hard Brand, right?
Oh, okay.
But back when MMA, like mixed martial arts was real big. And Vegas is like the home of like UFC and all the fighters and stuff. So I got into that hard. Like, we had a good presence here in St. Louis, and I was living in Vegas. I had a team here in St. Louis.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it was like, so on that taught me something. That brand didn't take off, and it didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. But it was not a loss at all, because it gave me way more information to know how to use those situations now.
You learn.
Yeah. So I was just like, I feel like I know that I'm blessed, and but I'm not gonna squander the gifts or the jewels, what I'm saying? I try to stay around wise people.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. Like, straight up, man. I'm so impressed with you, man. The other thing, so you have all these tools at your disposal. What was the thing that just made you finally, because you said you started companies before. Yeah. What made you say, you know what, Elite Home Grow, that's what I should do. I should have a company in cultivation. I already have. Thank God you came back to Missouri.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the only reason you came back is because your mother was ill?
My mom.
Wow.
She has dementia. Yeah.
Wow.
So and then she has her good days, her bad days. But, through the research and through this plant, we've been really studying, like, the cannabinoids that's really good for actually, like, blocking the plaque or breaking up the plaque that's in those brain cells that mess with the memory. Like, so we're looking into, that's what really that's more like a heart project to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a heart project where I put my extra time and my resources to really see if I can connect this dot. Wow. Because it directly affects me and millions of other people. Yeah. In our culture too. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another.
Has she been taking any?
See, my mom is old school. Mom is super religious, like, and even though like she got her good days, her bad days, but she got her long term memory, like she know she been in the church for 40 years, so she still got that. Cannabis? Oh no, that's that's the devil's lettuce.
Right, that bullshit.
Yeah. She called me almost every day, asking me, "Zach, are you vaping? You vaping? I see these news stories and people dying of vaping." I'm like, "Mama, relax." But that's where. Right. But she went through that cocaine epidemic. She seen that. You know what I'm saying? So she thinking in her head is the same philosophy of marijuana's a gateway drug.
Yeah, marijuana's cocaine.
Right. They're on the same scale. Yeah. But
that's what they drilled in her.
Right. So with that, I don't even take it. She still like, mom is cool because she know what I'm doing. Yeah. And when she see plants, my mom like plants. She taught me how to garden.
Right.
So she'll see a plant. She cannot unappreciate the craft of growing.
Yeah.
So she could be like, that's a beautiful plant, even though it's marijuana.
Yeah.
It's still a beautiful plant.
Of course.
Yeah. So
you can't help. You better say it, especially if you're a gardener like she is.
Right. But how she used to be, not anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it's things like that. So she mom's gave me her blessing in the best way that I can comprehend. With the condition that she's in, has given me her blessing to roll full steam ahead with this. You know, she's been to our location multiple times, just kind of check it out. She cut the ribbon at our grand opening, right? You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
yeah. So things like that. So
that's amazing.
She just love her son. So as long as she see, and she plus with the stories of like on the news where they talk about the dispensaries open up in Illinois, and so she start to see more of a common thing. Then she calls me like, "Oh, Zach, I see somebody doing some weed stuff. And you know them?" And I'll be like, "Mom, I don't know everybody that do weed stuff, you know what I'm saying?" But that's where she at, So she's kind of accepted it, and she cheers me on, but at the same time, she just tells me to be cautious.
Yeah,
and
let's keep it to marijuana too.
Yeah,
we try not to use. I meant to tell you that's one thing I meant to tell you pre-show.
Okay,
we try not to say the word that word on here. We like to call it marijuana, cannabis, or anything other than
got you. Yeah, right. I completely trust me. I completely understand.
Exactly, because that's where the negative connotation comes from.
Yeah, that's the part of the demonization. Yeah, big time.
Exactly. Even the word, even purists want to say marijuana.
Right.
They don't like to say that.
Exactly. That's very true. That's very true. That's very true.
It's crazy.
So I definitely got you on that.
All right. So that is what thought I had while you were talking about she's old school, and I get that.
Yeah.
Put it in her food, man. You ever think about that? You ever think about
Mom loved chocolate. Mom loved chocolate. So we started off with the CBD in the chocolate bars.
Okay.
And but it's just one of the things where we just have to stay on it. We just start and just with the being busy. I'm super busy, and my sister's her caregiver. So it's like just trying to get everything like lined up the way we're supposed to do it. But trust me, but it's definitely a project that that is dear to me, and trust me, like if we can get to the core of this and that we know we can actually have like trackable proof that it works.
Yes,
I'll be advocate for this for the rest of my life. Like bottom line, even though I still will be, but this just adds more fuel to the fire for me. So
we'll talk. That's a hell of a background story.
Right. That's full of them.
That's a dope ass background story.
Thanks.
Tell me about this outstanding company that you started, like Elite Home Grow. You guys are in Maryland Heights,
right? Yeah, correct.
Maryland Heights, Missouri. That's a little suburb here outside of St. Louis, not far away. And you basically teach people how to grow,
right.
And what else do you do? You do so much more.
So we're the first cannabis school, like that's what I like to call it, first cannabis school within St. Louis or Missouri. So we focus on a few different things.
The first cannabis school.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, bro. Say that again. Right. That's awesome.
The first cannabis school, and so with that, but I knew personally that if we were going to grab that title, that it had to be backed up.
Right.
So that's why, we went hard with coming to building the curriculum based on like the industry standard, like, like things that I practice, or things that I've seen with my own eyes, what the expectation is on the receiving end. Mm-hmm. So with our instruction, when it comes to like, growing, because we teach how to grow cannabis indoors or outdoors, like for home grow, we teach how to invest in cannabis stock, which is one of my favorites, right?
Wow.
And how to cook. We're working on how to cook with cannabis, like actually infusing the cannabis into your food, but like the whole process, like from taking cannabis flower to getting that flower into like your actual brownie or, your suckers or gummies.
Cooking classes as well?
Right. Well, we're rolling on we're going to be rolling those out first of the year.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
So we're in the building portion of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet.
I'm so man. Wow.
Yeah. Man. Because we look at it like this: is it's a demographic within this industry that does not want to like smoke or vape cannabis,
right?
And so they prefer to eat it, even though eating it changes it, like it's just not THC anymore. It changes it because like if you have an edible hits you a little different than actually smoking like a joint or a blunt. And that's because it actually processes through your liver and it changes like from THC to THC. I think it's V or THCA. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but it changes the molecule of it, right?
Yeah.
So it hits you a little different. It's like more of a a alcohol stone, like grogginess to it. You know, like that's kind of where the after effects of it. So, but that's why. But like, anyway, so we know people still like to consume it that way and not smoke it because they, you know, it'll have them smelling like, you know, cannabis and so on and so forth. So we just know, okay, yeah, if we can teach them how to take their flour and actually process it into their own brownies or their cakes or their butters and so on and so forth, because people are getting really like supreme when it comes to like creating these dishes, like really like top notch, like lamb chops, like, you know, marinated in cannabis and like all this crazy stuff. And like pizza's another big one. Like, people making the stone pizzas and stuff like that with the sauce and so that side of it, I feel like once everybody comes around to it, like once it's federally legal, that's going to be a huge market. Just like restaurants that you can like go and actually have, you know, cannabis product. You know, we need to get cannabis to the point where it's looked at the same way as alcohol.
That's it. That's it right there. And really, because it's so much better. And shout out to my cannabis chefs that are going to be coming on the show here pretty soon. Make sure you guys check out future episodes of High Off the Glass when you have them on.
Oh, yeah.
Going to have a couple young ladies on. They are outstanding.
They're cooking in that kitchen.
Oh, my goodness. Had some of their stuff at the, there was the same weekend as your Canaween party.
Got it.
There was a media like a outlet, just like an event, a media event.
Gotcha.
And at this one spot over in Overland, and they do a lot of great events there too. You should check out what the Michi Media Center. You guys check it out. It's in Overland. They do a lot of great events.
Cool,
I'm probably saying the name wrong. I'm scared, but it's in Overland. And man, Dr. Feelgood.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah,
yeah. The liquid, they had these strawberry lemonades, bro.
Ooh.
So strong and so good. So much THC. It was so good.
Wow.
And then the one girl that you had at your spot, the chef enthusiast.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Because it was two. We had two separate ones there. We had Me Premier.
You did.
And then we had Worth the Wait.
Worth the Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, she is really good.
Oh yeah. Because she had the shots of the lemonade too. She had some, like some lemonade.
Yeah, she did.
THC.
She did.
I took a shot of that, man. It had me. Whew. I just knew the way that it burned down my throat that it was gonna do some damage.
I had the Rice Krispie treats. Those things were delicious.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing with the edibles, man. They be so good that they hard to stop eating because they just good, right?
Yeah.
But you got to be real careful, man.
You do.
I've had some horrible experiences.
I'm gonna ask you this: when you do an edible, do you feel it all through your body?
I do, like to the point where with me, I don't know if it's something, you know, because like everybody's is different. Right?
Yeah.
But I've always had horrible luck with edibles. No matter what people tell me, this was not that bad. This one's this. I can eat the edible, man. And I feel like it gets to the point where I cannot turn the high off or down or stop it.
Oh wow!
Like it just goes from like a oh yeah, I feel cool, oh yeah, I'm in my zone now. It feels great.
Yeah.
So like, whoa, what's going on? Like I need to go lay down.
Right.
Like, you know, it just and that's how it always hit me. Then like the next day, I always feel like a little groggy. So I know it's something with the dosing, but at this point, I'm a flower guy. You know, I'm just a flower guy. Like I know people love the edibles, and like some edibles I do kind of mess with, but on a large scale, I would never be just an only edible guy. I'm always gonna hit the flower.
To me, it's always flower first. And I like edibles myself, but I only kind of feel the high in my stomach.
Got you.
I don't feel it anywhere else, but my stomach. Man. I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I like my edibles.
Right.
I'm gonna keep messing with my edibles
for sure.
But you know, I would like to feel it. You know, I would like to get them body highs that everybody else be having. You know, I'd like to get that.
Yeah, but man, I mean, because like I've been.
You know, that's a challenge to you cooks out there.
Oh yeah,
see if you can get over the great high in his whole body, just his tummy. Come on now.
Somebody need to step up to the challenge.
You know what I mean? Take that challenge right now. But I'm always a flower first advocate.
Me too.
You know, that's always me. So what exactly? Okay, well, give us like. I'm Joe Schmo off the street. I want to cultivate. I don't know how to do it. I don't know where to do it. I don't know how to get a card. I don't know where to start at.
Yeah.
Will you show me, and how much is it?
Yeah, for sure. So it's different steps to it. Like, so we'll start off at the very, very beginning, right? So either we have students that come to our class that just want to learn how to grow and then don't really know much about how to get the card. And so then we teach them, we tell them the steps or the resources that's available to them in St. Louis or in Missouri, right, for them to actually get the card.
Okay.
But like, say we have a person that comes to the class that already has their card and they want to learn how to grow. So our grow class is $100. So, and that's like the basic, we call it the beginner's class.
Well, the person that doesn't have the card already and is at the very, very beginning steps.
You want to take it there?
Does that person have to pay?
Yeah, they have to pay too. Yeah, everybody, because the class is separate from the card. So, we don't do the cards at our facility. So we just do the education. We do education. So, say if they need a card, we'll refer them to this doctor or this clinic, so on and so forth. Where it's closer to their neck of the woods, or if we have a relationship with a particular clinic, then we refer them to them so they can actually go get their card, get their patient card, either because it's like you can get your patient card to actually possess cannabis.
Right.
Or you can get the patient cultivation card where you can actually, grow cannabis. Or you can be a caregiver. So it's multiple roles or methods to actually, depending on what you want to do, within this. So like say, we're talking to somebody that, has their card, now they want to grow. Yeah. So they'll sign up for our class, which is $100. Okay. And then, it's a 4-hour class. We provide lunch and we go from the basics, like from the botany or the anatomy of the plant all the way to hanging your buds up, drying them, curing them correctly, and storing it. We do the whole and everything in between, for sourcing genetics, where where to get good genetics from, and transplanting, cloning, topping, the whole anything that pertains to growing cannabis indoors.
Wow.
We school them on that.
And it's how many hours?
It's 4 hours.
4 hours.
And we actually have a cannabis lab too. So
wow.
Yeah, so we don't have the actual plant in our facility because our landlord won't allow us to. Okay. But with that, we actually have a plant that's similar to a cannabis plant, and we show how to clone, we show how to transplant, we show how to germinate the seeds.
Wow.
It's like hands on, And even with the tent, like everything like that you want to have in your grow room or your tent, we have a demonstration or a display of that too, so people can see when we're talking about doing hydroponics or DWC or soil grows and the different nutrients. We teach them even how to mix nutrients and things of that nature. So it's really hands on. Like we want everybody that leaves the class being confident that when they go home, they can actually have a successful cannabis grow. That first run.
Okay, that sounds like exactly what you need. My thing is, okay, so I go to that class, so I pay $400 for the class, and it's just one class. That's it.
It's $100. $100.
Oh, $100.
Yeah,
okay.
Not $400. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
wow. Okay, that's a lot better.
Yeah,
where'd I get 4 from? Okay,
I don't know.
So I take 4 classes. That'll be $400.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah, so it's $100, but we also do have a discount. Yeah, we have a discount program too. So like if you are a veteran, you get 50% off the class.
Oh, nice.
And low income.
That's me.
Perfect. Yeah. So you get 50% off the class, and if you're low income, so if you have a provable source like Section 8, food stamps or EBT, things of that nature, things that we can actually source to show that you are low income, then you'll get 50% off the class too. Because we want, we look at it like this: a patient's a patient, and their financial situation should not be a roadblock to them being able to cultivate their own medicine.
Exactly.
So we want to make it, of course, easier, on that aspect. Yeah. And we're also working on some other cool things that we're going to be doing more for the veterans and for the low income. Like we haven't rolled that out yet, but it's going to be things, just stay tuned.
That's so cool.
So we got some stuff.
Have it out there for the vets. Have it out for low income. Lord knows we need it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for the service, man.
Right
because after working for the VA, bro, one thing that I learned,
you know how it goes.
Yeah, one thing I learned is, regardless of what you think about that veteran, you don't know what that veteran's saying. Bottom line. So if they come in hot, which a lot of them did, and a lot of them still do, some of them could be finessing the system, but you still don't know. So you can't generalize. They have a story. Those eyes have seen some stuff, that pain.
Exactly.
Things that they can't erase.
Exactly.
And we're lucky. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's kind of like how I look at it, man.
You can't judge that veteran. You can't judge that woman with 4 kids that's just trying to, hold her family together the best way. How you can't judge her or him or that, whoever, because you don't know what their situation is or what they've been through or what they're currently going through. Right. You have no clue.
You have no idea.
People can't do that. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's so awesome that you do that. Okay, so let's say I take the class.
Yep.
And let's say, I'm taking the best notes I can take.
Gotcha.
But this is a 4-hour class. You guys provide lunch too? Did I hear you say
Yeah, we
that?
sure do.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was always pretty some good stuff. We right across the street from Hooters, so
Hooters
are like Qdoba.
Yeah.
We do like good stuff. We don't do like we just got some sandwiches from Walmart. Like
right,
we actually do like we do like actually good lunches.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I like that. All right, so you what is it? I go home, I get this stuff, but say I'm having some issues or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a number I can call to get me a refresher, get me back on course with, with what I'm doing with my notes or whatever?
I get text messages from students almost on an everyday basis.
Okay, yeah.
They, they have, they could be experiencing something where, their plants are not looking as healthy as they want them to.
Right.
Or, just certain things, are not knowing when it's time to do something or not actually knowing the actual technique.
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning, people are afraid they think they're killing their plants, but it's things like where you got to top your plant, so you got to actually cut it, right? But that cutting it is actually benefiting the plant, well, probably not the plant, but as much as you when it comes to your yield.
Yeah.
But you're doing that to make the plant produce more.
Right.
So you don't want to cut it because it's just like, ooh, I don't want to cut my plant. But with me, if I know, hey, I'm gonna get twice as much if I cut it, I'm cutting it. So but if it's your first time doing it, people are really afraid. So they're like, oh, it's gonna kill it. I'm like, man, just go in and get the scissors and just do it. So sometimes I gotta talk them through that. Give them the confidence just to go and do it. You gotta
talk them through cutting it and shit.
Yeah. So
wow, that is awesome. Okay,
but we're actually working on rolling out our services department too, which we're pretty much, we have a service department in place, but we just need more techs. You know what I'm saying, and kind of get it more orchestrated. So but we I would say we don't need more techs. We have a group of techs that we're working with. We just got to get everybody just like on the same, like in sync, and actually to really hit it. But we're going to be offering services where, because we do it now where we go to somebody's home and we actually help them with their tent setup or the room setup and things of that nature.
Nice.
So even if it's they have an issue with their plants, like they can call us and say, hey, I'm having this particular issue. Text me a picture of it, and we can kind of see what we can do from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's different things that we're doing, to really help them pass the class.
So you're doing that now with the home visits?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We got two customers now that we have a regular thing that Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Make sure they're getting that their plants getting the love and attention that they need.
Oh dear God! Yeah. Right, you guys are. It's so few companies here that have been smart enough to be started to even do that, but there are some here.
It is.
And you're one of them. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Shout out to Weed Squad. Shout out to you.
Weed Squad. Yeah, they're cool, man.
Yeah,
Weed
cool.
Squad. They came to one of our first events. We threw a 420 Breaking the Stigma event back in April on 420, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and they were one of the vendors there, and I got a chance to meet their whole crew. Yeah, very very solid group of people.
Yeah. Had Jordan on.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, Jordan's super cool, man.
That woman knows her stuff.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness, she was so cool.
Yeah, she's super.
Hung out with her Blue after the show. Oh yeah. Good people. Good
very
people.
Good.
Can't wait to have them back on. But here's another thing. What else do you provide with Elite Homegrown besides the class? Mm-hmm. We do some home visits if you would like that. Hey, I'm the owner. Text me if you have a question.
Right.
About what else do you guys offer?
Just really on top of that, man. We have our, like I said, the cooking class, the investing class, the grow class. We have a bud tender course and a career development course too.
What?
Yeah. So
those different classes.
Yeah.
How does the investing one work? Because I want that one.
So the investment one works. That's, to me, I feel like it's gonna be one of the best classes, on the whole, curriculum that we have.
Yeah.
Because that actually teaches you the values or the principles of investing correctly. Because gone are the days, I take my investing serious.
Right.
So gone are the days of, I'm gonna take this, this $1,000, I'm just going to throw it at this particular stock and just 10 years hope that it makes me $1 million.
Right, just please hope it works.
Yeah, we don't teach that philosophy. Even though that's in some instances with the right research, that's a good play. But you have to make sure it's the right play.
Right.
But we teach strategy.
Right.
We don't just teach strategy. I focus a lot on strategy, but it's mainly the process of not just knowing how to pick a correct company to invest in, but actually where do I go to invest? People ask me all the time, do I just give you my money?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you can if you want to, but
I'm
not a broker.
Right.
So I'll teach you how to actually say right. They're like, hey,
can you take my loan?
Right. I'm gonna just give you $20,000 and you can just invest it. I'm like, you finna give? Okay, all right. See ya. No,
Right.
No,
Ain't nobody doing that.
Right. So what my thing is, I try to teach everybody to, find a broker. If it's going to be a TD Ameritrade, it's going to be a Fidelity, if it's going to be a, Charles Schwab or whoever. Find that broker that's good for you. Learn how to actually buy a stock, how to fund your account, how to set up a broker account. Like, I teach all that stuff. So not just, look at this particular stock symbol, they're going to make you some money, go put your money over there. That's great, but if you don't know where to start, that information is irrelevant. So we try to take it down to the core, so you can actually teach you how to do your own self-directed stock investing. Which I feel like for me, I'll always have my own self-directed stock account. Yeah, we have mutual funds and money with money managers, but self-directed accounts is like you're pretty much just taking your own destiny in your hand. You can kind of play around a little bit more, and like I feel like you get the best returns because you can actually push those returns. So that's what we teach in the stock investing class. It's like just really the process, the structure, and then the strategy. Like really things that you should look out for when you're investing. Like really your risk tolerance. Like people don't understand that, but your risk tolerance is a big thing that you really have to evaluate and be honest. When you're telling yourself, well, how much money can you really risk to lose?
Right.
Because people do stupid things all the time based on loose information. Oh man, I took my last $10,000 and they told me this pharmaceutical company was gonna blow, and I did it, and guess what? Now you're talking to me crying because you lost your $10,000. So it's like. Wow. So things like that, we try to, because investing, it's the allure of investing that gets people.
Yeah.
But I try to take it past the allure. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, all the shows and TV shows that we watch and stuff like that, it looks cool. But let me pull the smoke screen away and let's really talk about how to make this system work for you.
Definitely. I think you would always have more passion for investments in companies that you research yourself, that you look up yourself, that you found yourself, and that, if they make a little bit of money, you'll feel better about you.
Definitely.
If someone else does it all for you, it's just like, thanks for making me the money. I wish I would have done it, but all right.
So
what I'm saying?
It's like either you're going to teach somebody, you're going to give somebody a fish, or you're going to teach them how to fish.
Yeah. Teach me how to fish.
All day.
Right. Because I can't live off of what you're going to give me.
Right.
Fuck that.
Because what if I don't like what you serving?
Right. I mean,
you now stuck with it.
You steady give me this whack ass tilapia. I want salmon. Come on now.
Exactly.
Well, what do you have any events coming up here in the upcoming future that we should know about?
Yeah. So we have two events coming up.
I will be at both.
Oh, cool.
Pray I'm off work. I will be off
work. These two, they really aren't events. They're classes. So our next class, the last class, Grow Class of the year, is happening December 14th. And that's from 10:30 to 2. 10:30 to 2.
Okay.
And or maybe it's 10 to 2:30. I don't. It's either 10. It's one of those. Check the website.
You should get it right.
Yeah.
Give them the website real quick.
EliteHomegrowers.org.
I'm
sorry. It's EliteHG.org. EliteHG.org. That's the website.
Yep.
So that's going to be our last grow class of this year, and then we're doing a stock investing class on the 19th. That's going to be the last stock investing class of this year. But we also do have a pop-up so the same day that we're doing the the grow class, which is the 14th, we're going to be having a pop-up doctor clinic come out, and they're going to be doing pop-up certifications for $150. So it's going to be a cool thing.
Oh, wow. That same day.
Yeah, that same day.
What day is the 14th?
The 14th is a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that on the 14th. Yeah, so so that's going to be pretty cool. But we got to, we keep things... We keep things interesting over at Elite. So we have something that's about to hit, an event that's about to hit very soon. But, we haven't got all the stuff ready for it yet. Everything's not concrete.
Right.
But once it's concrete, which is about 90% concrete, we're going to be rolling that out. So definitely stay tuned.
Follow us on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
Those two classes, can you give us any clues on what that is?
The event that we're doing?
The little special thing that's coming out, can you break news on that now, or can you hold it and then release the information only on High Off the Glass? Can we do that also?
I could do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
I could do that.
There we go.
Pretty slick.
Yeah,
pretty slick.
Let's do that.
We'll hold it. Yeah, we'll
hold it and release it only on High Off the Glass.
Exclusive.
That'll come out in a couple weeks, y'all. Be ready for it. Be ready
it's
for
it. Drop. It's gonna be nice.
Yes, sir. All right, I like that.
All right, cool.
What? Oh shoot! So those two classes, they're the regular, $100 classes. They're not.
So the stock investing class is actually $25.
Oh, wow.
So the announcement on that is that we cut the price from $40 to $25.
Oh.
Yeah, because with me, I was thinking, if people are willing to take a chance on learning how to invest, they still have to have money to invest.
Right.
So if we can, ease that burden for them a little bit more, where it's just $25 to get the education.
Okay.
Then they can take the rest of that money and actually put it in to make their first trade.
That's awesome.
So that's the investment the announcement with that is that we're dropping that class to $25 versus $40.
Okay.
And but the grow class for the beginners class is $100. Yeah, that's gonna be on the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's awesome. You still find a way for people to do, get what they need, and it's right around Christmas time, so everybody's trying to save money and spend money.
Right.
But you discount the price, so you still give them what they need for a discounted price,
Right.
and it's oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then they can really go into the new year. Like my
That's
thing is,
awesome.
I'm very goal oriented. And so, like, if they ever have a goal, like, say they have a goal of this year, saying, I wanted to invest, I wanted to know more about stocks,
Yeah.
but you know how the year goes by so fast that now if they hear this and they say, what, that was really a goal of mine. Well, now take the class, learn how to invest, and go into the new year accomplishing a goal right off the gate. Like that's how I started.
Yeah.
I bought my first stock, didn't know what I was doing,
Right.
just solely to check it off my goal list.
Yeah,
And I bought a
yeah.
pharmaceutical company that didn't make me any money. But
Wow.
I bought it, and I was like, oh, I own the stock, I own part of pharma or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was just something about that, the pursuit.
Yeah.
But that also fueled that passion to really learn what I was doing.
Wow.
Because you lose money, you only want to lose money so few times before you realize, like, wait a second, losing money's not cool.
Right.
Let me figure out how not to lose money.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Wow, bro, your story, Zach, is amazing. The only thing second to your story is you as an individual. You are
Thanks, man.
you are outstanding.
I appreciate that, man.
The type of vibe that you have and the type of swagger and imagination that you are bringing to this is unlike I've ever seen.
Man, thanks, bro. I
So
really appreciate that.
You are going to go far. I just want to be, just bring me along with you.
Man, I got you, bro.
Hey,
The way I look at it, man, iron sharpens iron, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
yeah, straight up.
We all need to be strong. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Let's whatever we got to do to put it all together. This is
Yeah.
a great opportunity. Like, this is a great opportunity to kind of even the playing field.
Right.
Not with everything, but with
Right.
some things. So
Right.
let's not, as a culture or even as a society, not devalue what we're doing in the cannabis space.
Right.
But if it's an opportunity for you to benefit from that, get into it.
Yeah.
Don't be a part of, I look at it like this. Be a gladiator at the Coliseum,
Yeah.
not a spectator.
Yeah.
Like, get in here and fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Are you entertained?
Yeah, you know it.
Are you not entertained?
You know it. I love that movie, man. It's one of my
Is
favorite
that
movies.
not why you were here? I had to do that shit.
One of my favorite movies.
Knew that
man.
shit was coming. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? For real.
That's
For
why I
real.
brought it up.
You know what's so funny with me with that? That's what I thought I was going to be when I was a kid, was a director, because I love
Nice.
Spielberg and Spike
Oh, man.
and Lucas. Those were my boys. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
So I thought I was
wow.
going to make movies. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to do.
yeah.
Probably still will do it.
Finna say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I made, actually, with my producer, he helped me make my little student film I made at Merrimack.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was some funny shit. But freaking, I don't know why I slept on it, but it took me years before I saw Gladiator.
Really?
I didn't see Gladiator, bro, till it was on I think TNT one damn night.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? It was a Saturday night after I got off work. No, wait, my bad. I had seen it before then, but it was just like, was that the first time I had seen it? Yeah, I think that was the first time I had seen it. It was like one Saturday night. I had got off work when I worked at this security job. It was a shitty job. You know what I mean?
We all had a bunch of those.
Oh my goodness, you know how that shit go. And I get
Sir.
home and I having to click it on. I was like, I never watched. Let me watch this shit.
Let's see what this about.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny that you end up watching a movie and you like it, and it's on TNT with all the commercials fucking the shit up.
Yeah.
Man, that movie was good as it.
Life changing, bro.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took me this long. What the
bro.
fuck?
It's a solid movie, man.
Oh my god.
Shawshank Redemption was one of those movies for me like that, bro. Yeah.
Man.
So, but it's so like,
Bruh.
like now, like I really cherish a good movie that make me feel like I'm away.
Yeah.
You know, because now, man, if we in the microwave era, all these movies come out, they be real whack. You already know the storyline halfway through the movie. Like the first 10 minutes, you're like, let me see, she gonna fall in love with him. He gonna kill her. And you figure it out already. So they don't even keep you on your toes. And even when they try to, it's still like kind of like be dissatisfying.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so but having those movies like those classics, bro, that you can really get into, like a Forrest Gump.
Something that could, just like you said, that's the perfect way to put it. Something that'll take you away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's so many films that do that for me, and it's one that I just saw that did that was Dr. Sleep.
Really?
That shit. Oh
Dr.
my god.
Sleep.
Yeah. You know what that one's about?
Nuh-uh.
That's with what is it? Ian McGregor. He plays. You remember The Shining?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it's basically a sequel to The Shining.
Really?
And why they didn't promote this movie harder, I do not understand.
So it was like a big box office movie, like it went to the movie theaters.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's at the theaters right now, and it might be gone because it came out. Well, it came out November 9th or 8th.
Got you.
That right around that time, and it might be. Hopefully, it's still there.
They be flipping them fast now.
They do. That's the thing. Like that's the problem. Like you said earlier. So it's like they come out with these movies so fast, and it's either you could tell the story, the plot line real fast, or you can tell this is just like something they're just trying to kick to streaming services and DVDs right now. That's all they're trying to do. But this one, like when you sit down and watch it, if you're a fan of The Shining, even if you don't know The Shining, you'll like this movie. Cool. But if you like The Shining and know The Shining, you'll love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it has so many references to that shit.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep. It's actually two movies in one. Like you know why it's called Dr. Sleep, but it take you a while before you get it.
Before you figure that out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then when you connect that, it's a whole nother storyline you got to deal with. It's a whole nother that motherfucker is good.
That's a deep movie.
It is, bro. I'm trying to. I don't understand why they didn't put more promotion behind it. They poorly promoted that. Man, I don't know what it was.
Who was the big stars, like the headliners?
Ian McGregor, that played Obi-Wan in the new Star Wars movies.
He's a pretty solid dude, right?
Yeah, and one of the dudes is Native American brother from Westworld. I don't know if you ever seen Westworld. That's a good ass show. It was on HBO. He's on there, but other than that, it's not too many stars. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why
that could be the thing about it too. You know what I'm saying? How this goes.
You know what I'm saying? But still, they should.
It's a solid movie though, right?
Yeah, it's so good. Watch that shit. If you want something to take you away, watch that.
Sleep.
You know what I'm saying?
Should I smoke a sativa or indica before I watch it?
Oh,
good question.
That's a great question. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The one thing with me with marijuana, I'm glad you asked me that, but I'm the wrong person to ask because both strands kind of give me energy.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Like the one doesn't take me down, and the other one, it's just they both they both lift me up in some way, shape, or form.
And you're digging either way.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to get a certain way. You just get there, you cool.
I get so you take either one, you're gonna enjoy that film.
Got you. Cool.
Man.
And the whole indica sativa thing, that's a whole nother story too, though. But that's
give a little quick version of it.
Well, it's kind of like hard to explain. All right, so on the cultivation side, it's really hard to narrow down the true sense of like an indica plant versus a sativa plant. It was just the way that they was discovered. And I think people took that the way that they were discovered. So, the sativa, indica sativa, but no, cannabis sativa was discovered first. And I forget the guy that discovered it, but he was a botanist from a long time ago.
Right.
First guy that recorded it.
Probably his probably name was Sativa, wasn't it?
No, his name wasn't, but that's just what he chose to just to name that particular species of plant that he's seen, right?
Okay.
So when he did that, but he was on one part of the world, on this whole giant world where he found that.
Yeah.
And then years or decades later, another botanist discovered a similar species and just named it indica, so cannabis indica. So the whole sense of how it make you feel and all that kind of stuff really is that really doesn't really go back to the true origin. You know what I'm saying? So but now it's just marketable. It's a good way to kind of, for people.
You think it's a myth?
Huh?
You think it's a myth?
It's not a myth, but it's just like anything. If you in Africa and you discover a cannabis plant, you name it cannabis the Great O, right? And then I'm in America and I discovered cannabis, and it's still cannabis, but I'm doing research on it and I see, okay, well, he discovered this plant that looks just like this. He named it cannabis the Great O. So I found this one, so I'm gonna name it cannabis the great Zacko, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, but that has nothing to do with, oh, well, this indica is going to make you feel this way, or the sativa is going to make you feel this way. It's just the way that the plants were discovered was just the way the timeline that they were discovered. So it has nothing to really do with the type of high that you're going to find, you know.
Well, see, I thought that was that there was that the way you made it sound like you made it seem like there's no distinguishable difference, because I thought the distinguishable difference was that one is an upper, the other one's kind of a downer.
Right. That's
one makes you artistic, the other one makes you,
and that's where that's the marketing side of it. That's like kind of like what has happened, like through just the time, you know what I'm saying? It started to get those distinguishments, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like even with that, people say, okay, on the grower side, a sativa plant's going to grow this tall. It's going to be a taller plant, can grow up to 12 feet. You know, the buds are thinner, they're more spindly, things of that nature. Their node structure is different. On a sativa plant, their leaves are thinner. And then the indica plant is shorter, it's fatter leaves, and so on and so forth. But that's really based on where it's growing. Right. You know, like, so if it's growing, it grows like it's gonna pick up characteristics that makes that environments like make it do. Right. You know, we're all a creature of our environment. So if it's a little colder, guess what? Your body's gonna change to adapt to that coldness, right? You know, so that's kind of like the science side of it. But of course, like now, because like what I'm talking about is just like real deep into it, it'll never change. Like right now with the indica, sativa, hybrids, and all that stuff, it's just marketable now. It's easy for people to understand. So it's never gonna go anywhere. It's this business, but like really, do it really mean something? To me, not really. You know, but I still take it for face value. I still take it for face value, you know, but yeah,
but real cultivators know you don't put too much stock into it.
Right, yeah, really. You really don't. Like, I mean, something like now, I mean, you are getting to the point where breeders are creating these strains where they have more characteristics like the so-called book version of an indica or a book version of a sativa.
Right.
So you still use it for that. Like, you know, if you want to grow something, it's just more indica, you know, like just because now it's part of the culture now. It's just part of it. But I just say I'm not holding on to it though. Like for like, I'm not putting all my trust into like, oh yeah, this is an indica, it's going to do this and this and this. I'm not putting that much, you know, because really that don't matter either. It's the terpene profile. So that's a whole nother story.
The terpene profile, what?
Yeah. So,
babe, bro, I'm gonna keep digging. Goddamn, you keep giving me a shovel.
Right, okay,
I'm gonna keep digging. Cool. So what? The terpene profile.
Yeah. So the terpene profile. So now, like
that is more important than indica or sativa.
And THC and CBD, like percentages and like all that stuff, right?
Wait, that's more important than THC? THC is the thing that makes my brain feel so good. What you talking about?
But
it makes my body feel good.
So it's a thing called the entourage effect. The reason your brain...
Like the show?
Yeah. I don't know. But maybe.
I never watched it.
Okay. So with that, it's like, okay, so THC and CBD is, you know, they're both cannabinoids, right? And it's, you know, the cannabis plant has tons of cannabinoids in it. So the reason why we feel a certain way is because all those cannabinoids, not just THC and CBD, but you have CBD, V, you have you have tons of different cannabinoids, right? That are all in this plant. So with that being said, they work all in sync,
right,
to produce a certain feel,
right?
But we, as you know, society has been really focusing on THC or CBD. What's the percentage of CBD in this one? What's the percentage of THC? But what about all the other cannabinoids? Nobody care about the percentage of, you know, myrcene in this and so on and so forth. Like, so so myrcene is a terpene, right? So the terpenes are really they all kind of work in sync. So you have cannabinoids, you have the terpenes. So some terpenes are good for certain things. Some are good for like migraines or chronic pain,
right,
or, you know, it may slow the growth of tumor cells, you know, like things like that. So if you look at that terpene profile, it's going to let you know what terpenes are in that cannabis along with the cannabinoids.
Right.
So now you would know, based on this terpene profile, I'm looking to cure myself or to relieve myself of this particular ailment. So I know, based on this terpene profile, that profile is the best for my migraine headaches versus, oh, well, I'm going to smoke it. It has 27% THC. It's going to get me high. You know, like that's just a quick, like I said, it's marketable. Like that ain't going to go nowhere. They're going to keep doing that. But I think as science continuously, like is, you know, I would say put out there to us, you know, released, that the common smoker or consumer would start to understand that now this is a lot deeper than just CBD and THC.
Right.
It's way deeper than that because
okay, so the terpene you said the
terpenes.
The terpenes.
Yeah.
The terpenes are. Is it another part of the cannabinoid, or
Molecule.
It's all of them together?
Yeah, it's like they're separate. They're separate.
So terpene is just another. So terpene is like THC, like CBD. No,
it's similar.
It's
so
a
like
molecule.
It's a molecule. So like
Okay.
so you have say you have CBD, you have THC, which is a molecule, right?
Oh,
yeah.
So terpene is just another molecule.
Right?
But terpene is more important because it can. If you wanted to cure something directly, you want it to have more of that.
Yeah, I would say not really the word cure, but if you're searching for an exact relief or a exact like response to something, you will know, okay, based on this particular terpene profile, this terpene profile is known for relieving X, Y, and Z and helping out with inflammation and this and this and this based on that terpene profile. So say Blue Dream, just grabbing something out of thin air, say Blue Dream has a terpene profile that's good for X, Y, and Z. So that's why I want Blue Dream, not because it has 27% THC.
Yeah.
I want it because it has this terpene profile.
Because it'll take away my swollen ankle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So that's really like once we really get deeper into this, like as smoker connoisseurs, like now it's like more of a connoisseur thing, but I think it's gonna become a mass like consumer thing eventually.
It will be because for me, I have marijuana, you know, and I have marijuana. My friends want some, I have it for them. And when they come to me and they ask me for it, now it's like they want names.
Oh yeah,
they want names and they want to know what kind and what does it do. The smart ones want to know what does it do.
Yeah,
but everybody wants a fucking name now.
Right,
nobody gave a shit before.
Yeah,
how does it look? How does it smell?
Yeah.
Yep, I'll take it.
I want it, right.
That's all it was before. Now motherfuckers are so goddamn particular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bougie smokers.
Yeah, I mean, like all the way and shit. So what you're saying about, they're going to go, it's not going to, THC and CBD will mean something, but people will care about the terpenes. That will be the next, particular molecule that is hot, and they'll want to know about that. That'll come too.
That's the next level.
Really, what I want the next level to be in these dispensaries need to have it just like we have the nutrition facts column on the cereal and on my jar of jelly and peanut butter. I want that same fucking thing with my cannabis. I want you got 27% THC, you got 13% CBD.
You want to see the whole breakdown.
I want the whole breakdown. You know what I mean? I want I love talking about this shit.
It'll definitely get there because, like you said, that's where people are now. They're starting getting into like the more health benefit of it. Even if you're a recreational smoker, you're still smoking for some medical relief. Yeah. If it's anxiety, if it's back pain or whatever, you're just not smoking it just to feel high.
Yeah.
You got another underlying reason why you're smoking, even on a recreational side. So as that starts to really evolve, people are going to become more particular. With myself, exactly. Like I'm pretty particular, like what I want to smoke when I want to smoke it, versus just like I got some weed. You want? Well, not some weed. I got some cannabis. You want to smoke it? Yeah. And then this is like, nah, I really don't know how that's gonna affect me. I got a meeting today. I got to do this. If it's gonna hit me too hard, so you gotta. So like that's kind of how I am right now. Because I want to medicate, but at the same time, I still want to be able to function and do the things I want to be able to accomplish when I need to accomplish and chill when I need to chill.
That's why I love the strands that I can do that with.
Yeah.
I had one. What was this thing called? Sour Snake OG.
Wow.
I hit that motherfucker, man. Sour Snake OG. Wow. Smelled different, looked different. I was kind of excited.
Yeah.
Hit that motherfucker, man, on the way to the gig, and I smoke before I go to work. Always, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'll smoke a blunt on the way to work, a blunt on the way home. That's my ritual. You know what I mean?
Gotta have it.
That's what I do. You know what I mean? Medicate before I go to work. And I always wanna, I want to do that so I'm able to get through work easier. And what is it? It just helps me get through work. Get through work easier. Yeah, man, I hit this shit this particular day. First time I had hit it, I'm on 70 driving to work. Boy, I started to get annoyed. Then motherfucker, man. Snap, I had to grip the wheel a little more. I had to tell myself to keep going straight, dog.
You cool. You gonna be cool.
Right, I had to talk to myself. I had to maintain. You almost there, man. You good? Just you know what I'm saying? Crack the windows. Then that noise to be out. I had to roll them back up and shit. I'm feeling like I'm not going fast enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm looking at the thing say 80. I'm like, damn,
I'm fine.
You know what I mean? Oh, bruh.
Yeah, man.
So
Hey,
it's it's different kinds.
yeah, I never.
It depends.
Yeah, so that's what I always do. Like if I got a new strain that I'm trying to test, I always test before I go to bed.
Yeah,
just because I know at least if I'm at I would say at least I'm in the comfort of my own crib and I know I don't have anything to do, like a new strain.
Right.
So it's either like the day before I really want to put it in my my routine smoke.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'll take it and be like, okay, it is cool, make me feel this way. So I know based on the way it make me feel now, I'll be smoking this around this time tomorrow. You know, so and that's kind of usually how I do to avoid those situations because we all got caught slipping, man. I got some stories. We all got caught slipping.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like I don't mind. I like to be blowed and walk around and function and do my thing, but not when they got me annoyed.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
that. And I don't. And I'm not. And that's a big reason why a lot of people that don't smoke or are scared of smoking. Why? Because it makes them feel annoyed.
Right.
So the only time they can do it is at home. I was blessed with never having that. I never had that effect. See, that's the one thing I could always. I talk to my mother about it right now, and I could tell her this back in the day, but she didn't really get it. But now I tell it to her, she gets it.
Yeah.
I never felt scared being around marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I never felt like, oh shit, I'm doing some shit I shouldn't be doing.
Right. We feel bad, like dirty or something.
Like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
Nobody's dying.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you never feel like.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't. If you do other stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can do other stuff. That's you.
Right.
Now, when I was around heroin, you know what I'm saying? I felt a little annoyed. You know what I'm saying? I felt a little, something.
It's a little edge. Like, you're dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, this is a little out my realm. You know what I'm saying?
Because even the company that's around you in that particular,
you know what I'm saying?
I usually be around these dudes.
Yeah, right. The company changed. You know what I'm saying? When you change what you mess with, your company changed. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I just, but I never felt that way around marijuana.
Right.
I always felt like, shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's all right.
Keep it clean with the green, man.
Yeah,
my cousin used to tell me that all the time. Keep it clean with the green, man. So
Zach, this was awesome, man.
It was, man. You're cool, do yourself too, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you, man. I know one thing. It's time to get blowed, man.
And
guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with me. I just want to smoke.
Hey, that's what it is. Sometimes that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And be honest with you. And those of you that think, oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with me. I just want to smoke. I just be smoking. Don't think that you don't feel better after you smoke.
Right.
And that one little problem you was dealing with that's been bothering you about your family or about this and about that. After you smoke, that motherfucker go away. No,
Yep, it's a
you
little
smoking,
easier.
You smoking. You medicating too for a reason too.
Yep, we all are.
For
we
real.
all are.
We really are. I love how you put that earlier too. Yo, Post, thank you, bro.
No problem at all, man.
This was dope.
Hey, you can have me on anytime. Anytime you want to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Talk about what's going on out here in this space.
Fuck chop it up. You're gonna be on here. You're gonna be a goddamn sponsor. I want you to sponsor me. We're gonna get into that a little bit too, for real, because that needs to happen. Because I want to go to a class.
Yeah, man.
If I am off, tell these folks one more time when your thing is.
Yeah, so December 14th is going to be from 10 to 2:30. It's at our center in Maryland Heights. That's 11860 Lackland Avenue, and that is Maryland Heights, Missouri. And that's going to be our grow class, December 14th. And then December 19th is going to be our investing in cannabis stock class.
There you go. And that's the same
address,
same everything.
Right.
Check those events out, y'all. The price has been discounted, and here's the thing: you're gonna go in getting much more than you expected when you go to these classes. When you get the knowledge that Mr. Post has for you, which he has just dropped on us today. If you listen to this whole episode, you got some motherfucking knowledge.
Man.
This man dropped it. You know what I'm saying, bro? We've been damn near an hour and a half with this.
Wow.
But didn't even think it was that long. You know what I'm saying? But we getting it in. Thank you, God, for letting this happen. Thank you, everybody, for listening to High Off the Glass this episode. Like I always say, man, be safe, keep hooping. Peace, we out. All right.
Peace.
I